Together with Earle Sports Bets, yeah, the twins, they be checking in. Stacking up, green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend, and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah, it's R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle. Tim will be here in just a few minutes as we have Week 17 in the NFL. We got the NFL slate to go over for today. Now, obviously, there's other sports on today. We won't be going over those, but I did grab for the early game some Winnipeg in the over, and I grabbed the Islanders later in the day. I think I'm looking to grab a couple other teams later. But we will be. I'll be deep diving into that a little bit later, or later after the show, the NHL card. But before we get into today's games, before we get into today's slate, we'll take a look back at what happened yesterday. 1-1 right, 1-1 wrong in the world of sports betting. Wasn't a good day. That's easy to say there. I believe I went 3-14. Wow, I didn't realize how bad it actually was. All right. College basketball, I won one from each sport. I won one NFL play, one NHL play, and one college basketball play. I did not win anything in the NBA. The college basketball went 1-8. UMass does not cover the 19.5. Fairfield does not cover the 9.5. Alabama A&M hits a meaningless 3 as the time expired to make it a 20-point game, so Georgia didn't cover 21. ULL +3 and +125 got blown out. BYU -21 was a winner. FAU -16.5 lost outright. And Illinois Chicago +6.5 did not come anywhere close. So not a very good day there. And it didn't get much better away from there. The NBA lost my only play. The Knicks +3.5, Knicks +135. 0-2 down 0.96 units there. NHL went 1-3. Got the under 6.5 in the Pittsburgh-St. Louis game, but lost Toronto. Team total over 3.5, full game over 6.5. And the Kings -115 was a loser as well. And then in the NFL, I ended up adding in, made a couple bucks off of it. Detroit +5.5 was a winner. The money line was not. Hey, everybody and their mother was on the Dallas Cowboys, and shocker, they don't cover. So, the Lions were a small winner there. The NFL is the only thing that went right because the only play I lost in the NFL was the money line, which was a smaller sprinkle. So, overall, not a good day yesterday. Obviously, hopefully today is get back day.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Let me pull up the old bet stamp and see how ugly it was. Down 5.75 units. And I wish I made one mistake that cost us about 2 units. It would have been a flip because I had the Lakers money line instead of the +3.5, and they lose by 2. So that was frustrating. But I going over the card. Man U loser. UMass. Fairfield. James Madison was a winner. Both of our free plays, James Madison and
Kansas, 2 plays I didn't bet.
Were both winners. Georgia, as you mentioned, ugly at the end. DePaul -7.5. By the way, we're talking Georgia basketball was ugly at the end. Well, I'll discuss the other game in a minute.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
ULL +2.5 loser. Wyoming in the Arizona Bowl -3.5. They won by 1. So that sucked. FIU loser in overtime. BYU covers. The gift that keeps on giving, the over in the Pacer game. Pacers score 140 points. So that was nice. Under in that Penguins game was nice. Carolina over was a loser. Dude, I'm so pissed because I had Carolina puck line. Toronto scored with 10 seconds to go.
Yeah.
That sucked. FAU lost outright to Florida Gulf Coast. UCI lost by 12. Lakers, I mentioned that one already. The Bulls were a nice winner. And the Kings lost in a shootout. which was rough. Although I did have the draw for that one, so that was nice. Real quick, we'll bring up two things that happened in the sports world yesterday. First one, congratulations to the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah,
finally getting their first win in since
2 months.
And since October 28th. They are now 3-29. And congratulations to anybody who lives in the Detroit area and was able to get their free wings finally. On the opposite side, Florida State. What the fuck? I expected that game to be ugly, but holy shit. The biggest blowout in the biggest blowout in bowl game history. 60-point win.
Yeah.
What?
It was pretty simple when you saw the opt-outs and all that. And I know
100%.
I know a lot of people are now having that knee-jerk reaction saying, "Ha, that's why they shouldn't be in the playoffs." They had so many opt-outs, and they had
and Georgia didn't.
Georgia did too, but they didn't have
Georgia had 21 opt-outs.
Yeah.
And they still won 63-3. No, Florida State should never have been in the college football playoff. So, no, I think the committee 1,000,000% got it right.
Yeah, it's a nice little knee-jerk reaction from the 63-3 result.
No, it's not. I said it when it happened.
Like, I knew they were going to lose that game, and I knew people were going to point at that game and be like, "That's why." No, they didn't care. Once they were told they're not going to the playoffs, they literally could not care about that game. And
that doesn't matter. That does not matter. If they lost that game by 25, 30 points, fine. You lost by 60.
There
is no excuse. None. Zero excuse on why on any of that. So no, I don't want to hear of all the opt-outs. Oh, they don't care about no. There is no excuse to lose by 60 points. No. Mm-mm. But that was yesterday. Well, and most importantly, Skinner overtime winner. Sabres win. Woo! I've watched that highlight about 16 times already. Anyways, let's jump into the chat where IceX is going to try to butter me up a little bit. Tim, your Sabres might have a chance to actually win and break the losing streak after a W. Keyword might, because Sen's Chabot returned, so fade the star player.
Shabbat, yeah.
Okay, I like the sound of that. I had Pistons money line for the first time. Live bet plus 104 and the Pacers minus 3.5. Nice. Wild, Wings, Habs. That's what you got for today?
I moved on the Jets.
I feel like this one's a Minnesota spot, but
is it?
Detroit against Boston, I don't hate that. And Habs against the Lightning. I don't know about that.
I kind of like the Habs in that spot, yeah.
Jets yesterday, under in the Sabres game. Predators money line, Panthers puck line, Canes money line, Rangers puck line. Lost the over in the Canes game. Oilers lost. No, the Oilers won. The Oilers won. I don't know what you talk about. The Oilers lost. Draw in the Kings game. Nice. Sabres draw. How about them Pistons? Yeah, the Pistons finally won a game. Never betting Man U again. That's 100% fair. Had an amazing day in the NHL. Hell yeah, dude. It's always great to hear people having awesome days. So, right on. The way Man U lost was funny. I don't watch it. I just bet it, and I get a notification. Hey, you won the bet. Hey, you lost the bet. I haven't bet him in a while, but got my money back in the NHL. There you go. 60 points. Yeah. I got to start capping the games. I drank too much Buchanos last night. There you go. So we fade the Pistons after a win. I don't know. We haven't had this situation in a while. I don't know what to do.
Well, if any track history says, then yeah, right?
Yeah. Let's jump into the NFL, Nick, because I know there's a big NFL card today.
I've only moved on 5 games so far, 5 sides. Those are also my 5 contest picks. So those are the only games I've actually moved on at the moment. I will be betting more as the slate goes along. We'll kick it on off here. The Baltimore Ravens are hosting the Miami Dolphins. This is a very important game when it comes to the number one seed in the conference, because both these teams coming into this game are 11 and they're both the same record, right? 11-4. No, 12-3 and 11-4. But if Miami wins, they'll have the tiebreaker over Baltimore. Mm-hmm. So we have both these teams coming in 10-5 ATS on the year. So these have been two really good teams against the number. Baltimore coming in on 5 straight wins. Miami coming in on 2 straight wins. They lost, obviously, that Monday night against the Titans. But since then, they destroyed the Jets, and they had a game-winning field goal against the Cowboys. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot here, where shop around, I'm seeing 3.5s and 3s. Look ahead line was a 3.5. Opening line was a 3.5. And it's 3.5s most everywhere. Really no line movement on that. Did get up to, I believe, 4s in some spots at one point. And it got down to
there's some very juicy 3s.
I did get a 3 this morning with them. Look ahead line 47.5. Opening line 47.5 down to a 46.5. So the lines move towards the under. Line has not really moved too much on the side. 63% of tickets, 57% of cash is on the Ravens in this game. And then we have 40% of tickets and 68% of cash is on the under in this game. And I believe this line's ticked up, right? If I remember right, the line's ticked up towards the over. Nope, it's gone down. It went from 47.5 down to a 46.5. So expecting maybe some defense in this game. The number 1 rated offense versus the number 1 rated defense. Give me the defense. Give me the number 1 rated defense for this matchup here, and that's the Baltimore Ravens. My number for this game was around 5.5. So I see nice value here with the Ravens at 3. I got the Ravens -3 at -120 this morning. I was waiting for that line to tick down to a 3 because I knew the public was going to come in and take a little Miami as a dog. So I'm going to be on the Ravens here in this spot.
I'm on the Ravens. It's one of my contest picks, although contest is officially dead after the whole debacle last night with the stupid ass fucking Cowboys.
Alrighty.
So it doesn't really matter anymore, but the Ravens are a contest pick for me. Miami, good job. You beat one winning team after losing 29 straight games against winning teams. This is one that I think the Ravens blow them out, and I think the Ravens clinch the number 1 seed today. Right? Can they could still clinch the number 1? No, they can't. Because if they lose to Cleveland next week,
they play Cincy next week.
They play Cincy next week?
No, they play Pittsburgh next week. Cleveland plays Cincy next week.
Yeah, Cleveland plays Cincy next week. Never mind.
Cleveland needs Baltimore.
I thought they played.
You're right. With the win, Baltimore's the number 1 seed.
Yep, there you go.
Because Cleveland needs them to win to lose both games for the division.
Yep, never mind. I for some reason I thought that Baltimore and Cleveland were playing each other next week. I don't know why, but I am on the Ravens in this one, Nick.
Yeah, I did bet the Ravens. I wouldn't mind seeing them lose for my futures purposes with the. Yeah, no, I have money on the Ravens today, so I do think they.
Ravens obviously smash. Dolphins don't beat good teams. There you go. Would the Dolphins face the Browns if they lose? If so, hammer the Ravens. It's not the end of the regular season yet. We got next week as well. What up, my guys? Let's get it. Let's cash today. Hit the like button, people. Show some appreciation, subscribe, and share. Some little NBA cards, but some NFL. It's an NFL show today. I will say I'm going to be on one NBA play today, and the only thing I'm going to be betting is the Memphis Grizzlies. So there you go. Good morning, guys. Over and Ravens. I could see the over in this game, and I do like the Ravens. Yeah, NFL season's not over yet. Let's keep on going through these football games, Nick.
Yeah, we have the Buffalo Bills 14-point favorites, total of 40 in this game. Low total, high spread. Let's get into the line history for this one here, where this line opened up at look-ahead line 13.5, opening line 13. It's up to a 14 now. And it looks like it's a little bit of a juiced 14. So we could be seeing 14.5 here soon with the Patriots. Line open, look at line 40. Opening line 41, down to a 40 again. So a slight move towards the under here as well. 61% of tickets, 64% of cashes on the under. 51% of the tickets, 82% of cashes on the Bills in this game here. My number for this one is the Bills as about 12-point favorites in this game. So up to 14 actually has my interest a little bit with these New England Patriots here in this spot. Now, granted, the Patriots did beat them in the last game between these two teams, but I see value here with the Pats in this spot. And one team I don't think I was looking at potentially putting on my card, but I might. If I can get a 14 on a hook here at a decent number, I'm probably going to take a shot with it, which 14.5 would be $1.20. I'm totally cool with that. I'm going to take some 14 on a hook here with New England, and we're obviously going to sprinkle that money line as well. Only 0.2 units on the money line, but I'm going to look to grab New England in this spot at plus 14.5 at minus 120, and then a small sprinkle at plus 650 to win outright.
No, I'm not sprinkling anything for anybody for them to win outright. I think Buffalo wins this game, obviously. I think 14 points is a lot, but I wouldn't put it past them to cover the spread. This is a Patriots team that should be in tank mode. Would I love to see the Patriots win this game? Yes, I would. That would be great to kill their tank. But I don't see that happening. I also have futures on Buffalo, so I kind of need them to make the playoffs here. Let's see. Right now, they are 9-6, which is in a playoff spot. They are in the second wild card spot at the moment. So they're looking a little bit better to. I think if they win, they clinch a spot. Yeah, I think with a win, they would clinch a playoff spot because I would put them at 9. I'd put them at 10-6. Although there'll be a couple 9-7s, then 10s. I think with tiebreakers, I think if they win, they clinch, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't have the clinching scenarios, but Buffalo should be able to take care of business here. But I'm not laying 14 points. So this one ends up being a stay away. Maybe a teaser wouldn't work either because I would only bring them down to an 8. But I do think though I do lean Bills, but there's no way I'm doing that.
Fair enough. Yeah, I just at 14.5, I had to take a shot with them here.
Yeah, I got you. Happy New Year's Eve, everyone, and good luck. You too. Oh, God, the Patriots versus Bills. Icex, you want the Patriots to lose. You do. I like Baltimore. You like the Bills. Money line, no. Thunder, minus 7.5. I'm not going to talk you off the Thunder. You guys know how much I love the Thunder. But laying 7.5 points against our covering darlings in the Nets, I don't know if I'm doing that. I'm not working today. Cool. I can see lines better. There you go. All right. Over. One Buffalo team wins tonight, so better hope the Pats win. No, actually, how about a Buffalo parlay? There you go. Buffalo parlay today. Joking. Side might add Flyers money line. What do the Flyers get today?
Don't know. I don't think I have any interest in backing them.
Flyers don't play today. No, they do. Calgary.
I'm interested. I think my numbers like Calgary a little bit.
Nets haven't covered in almost a month. Oh wow, yeah, they really haven't. They covered one game against Detroit. Never mind. This team's wow. Brooklyn's not covered in 8 out of their last 9 games. Yeah, I kind of like your Oklahoma City look now. But I'm obviously not betting it, but you like the Thunder today too. Good luck. This one should be ugly.
Yeah, the Atlanta Falcons and the Chicago Bears. This next matchup here, let's get the line history up. And this one, where we have this game opened up at look at line 2.5, opening line 3 down to a 2.5. So a move towards Atlanta in this spot. Look at line 37.5, opening line 39, it's down to a 38.5. So a move towards the under and a move towards the Falcons here in this one. Let's take a look at the cash flow for this one, where we have 31% of the tickets and 52% of the cash is on the Falcons, and the line's moving in their direction. It tells me they're a live dog in this game. 62% of the tickets, 69% of the cash is on the under in this one as well. The line has moved towards that under, so that line movement makes sense for this. Let's take a look here at my projections for this game. I have Atlanta Chicago around 2-point favorite, so I think this line's correct. I would lean towards the Falcons if I had to get to a spot at all in this game, just by line value and things along those lines. And then for the total in this game, I think it's about right. My projections have this game around 38. So it's a pass for me in this game. Not really too much interest in this spot. You're muted.
Sorry. I kind of lean towards the Bears in this one. This is obviously both these two teams on the brink of elimination. I believe with a loss of Atlanta, and if Tampa Bay wins today, that division's closed up. Tampa Bay would clinch the division. With a loss, I believe the Bears are out, and I think the Bears need a lot of help. One of them including like Arizona winning a game. So good luck to them. This is essentially two teams with one foot in the grave. I kind of lean Bears. They've been playing better as of late. They've won 3 out of their last 4, 4 out of their last 6, absolutely killing their tank. Good for them. But this is a stay away spot for me.
Fair enough. Yeah, simple enough.
Bears. Fernando likes the Bears. This one, I don't know.
I've already made a move on this game. Let's get into it here, where we have the Tennessee Titans and the Houston Texans in this game. Texans 4-point favorites, total 44 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history here in this spot, where this game opened up with. Let's take a look here. Click. There we go. This line, look ahead line was a 4.5. Opening line was a 3.5. It's up to a 4. So it's moved slightly towards the Texans. Look ahead line 42.5. Opening line 42.5. Now it's a 44. So a move towards the over and a slight move towards the Texans here. Looking at the cash flow in this game, 72% of the tickets and 59% of the cash is on the Texans, which explains the line move towards them. But it looks like the bigger bets are coming in on the Titans, 28% of the tickets, 41% of the cash on the spread, 18% and 48% on the money line. 76% of the tickets, 87% of the cash on the over. Explains the line move towards the over in this game. My projection for this game was, where is it? Houston. There we go. I have the Texans as a 3-point favorite in this game. I grabbed the +4. I saw a little bit of value here with the Titans in this spot. I also have them as a contest pick, which the contest pick was, I think 5.5. I think it's 5.5 for the Titans. So I was very happy that was the case with that. So I got 5.5 on the contest, 4 for an actual bet, but I got the Titans and I like them to win this game outright.
Yeah, no, I can't take that. I'm not going. I mean, the Titans are already out, and then you get the Texans, who are still fighting for a spot. Now the Texans, I believe, still have a tough schedule because they get Tennessee this week, which is not a tough game, or shouldn't be a tough game. And then Houston gets Indianapolis next week, which is should be a good game. I kind of lean Texans to win this game, but I did not get to betting this one. I'll be right back. Mom's getting mad at me because I took her parking spot, so I'll be right back.
Oh, good job, Tim. Proud of you. So ahead, go. I want to take my hometown Texans, but probably won't bet it. Fair enough. We'll move into another game I have action on here. We have the Indianapolis Colts hosting the Las Vegas Raiders. We have the Colts as 4-point favorites, total of 42.5 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot between Las Vegas and Indianapolis, where we have this line opened up with the Colts as a 3-point favorite. The look at line was a 3, opening line was a 3, got up to 3.5, and now it's up to a 4. Look ahead line 44. It's still it opened up at a 44, and now it's down to a 42. So a slight move towards the under here in this game as well. Taking a look at the cash flow in this spot, where we have 60% of the tickets, 68% of the cash is on the Raiders. Yet the line's moving towards the Colts. Makes me a little bit nervous because I do have an idea of the Raiders in this game. 37% of the tickets, 73% of the cash on the under. The line moving up. No, my bad. The line was moving down. It moved down to a 42, which that line move makes sense there. As for the total in this game, I have this one projected at around that 42.5 range. But I have this game priced a little closer than the books do. I have the Colts as about a 1.5 point favorite in this game. I like the Raiders in the spot at +4 and at +170, as I think I want to say I got them at. Raiders have been a little cash cow for me as of late, and I'm going to go right back to the well here in this spot. We've cashed back-to-back weeks with them. There's still value on them, and I know the market's kind of making me a little iffy on the play, but I still like the Raiders here in this spot. Raiders +4, Raiders +170 for me.
Yeah, I'm on the opposite side. But I think this Colts team is a playoff team. So, and right now they have the last spot at the moment. If the Colts win out, they get a playoff spot. They get the Raiders, and they get the Texans next week. And I think they win out. Now, I'm not. I'm going to end up having. I got 3.5 on the Colts, so that line's gone up a little bit. I think this is a spot that we're going to finally see the death of the Raiders, which the Raiders need to win out, and they need help. So it's going to be difficult for it, but I just think this is a Colts team that's going to I know they're confusing because they're good, they're not good, they're good, they're not good. I think this is one of the days the Colts are going to be good. So I got the Colts at 3.5.
Fair enough. Back to the chat.
Yes, Colts are favorited. They're also at home, so it makes sense. This game is interesting. I actually like this one.
This game does have some intrigue in it, and I think this line move is not market based. I think it's injury based. Let's get into it here in this spot, where we have the Jacksonville Jaguars hosting the Carolina Panthers. So line's down to a 3.5 now on BetOnline. Line opened up at look at line was a 9. Opening line was a 6. And it's come all the way down to a 3.5. This tells me Lawrence is not playing, which I have no problem with. Look ahead line 39, opening line 37.5, remained at 37.5. Taking a look at the cash flow in this game, we have 58% of the tickets and 85% of cash on the under. Lions not moving. 59% of the tickets, 79% of the cash on the Panthers. Big bets coming in on Carolina in this game. And I'm just going to let them. I need to Jacksonville Jaguars injury report. We need to this tells me Trevor Lawrence is out this game. He is out this game as well. Jose Jones is questionable. It looks like it's going to be, I believe, C.J. Beathard starting quarterback today for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I have absolutely no problem with that. Why? The Panthers still suck. And I think this is just a massive overreaction to the injury. This season, is Trevor Lawrence worth 5 points?
No.
I'm very interested in the Jaguars here, especially as this line continues to drop and drop and drop and drop and drop. Another thing I'm kind of interested in this game is the over at 37. I think this line's moved too much from the injuries. this total as well. And I think there's value on both the Jaguars. And I think there's value on both in the over as well. It's actually 37.5 now. My number had this game in the 40s. So I'm going to move on both of them here. I'm going to move on the Jaguars at 4, and I'm moving on the over 37.5 as well. In this game, I see the Jaguars putting up points. And maybe this is a team total play. If you don't feel comfortable with the Jaguars covering 4, you can look the team total direction, which is 20.5. So I'm going to figure out how I'm going to bet this game. It's going to be 2 of the 3. The over, the team total over, or the spread. And I think I'm going to go team total over and a full game over instead of the spread. Maybe I just go with all 3. I have no faith in these Panthers at all. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to just take all 3. I'm going to triple down on this game. I'll take the Jaguars -4. Jaguars team total over 20.5. Full game over 37.5. That's where we're going to go for this one.
I think at the end of this week, we'll have a Jacksonville Jaguars team that's not in a playoff spot. I think the Panthers win. And I know you just listed off all the injuries and stuff. That's fine. I still think this Jacksonville Jaguars team is extremely overrated. I don't think they should be favored in this game. Or if anything, I think it should be a 1-point spread or 1.5 point. I don't. This is not a good Jaguars team.
What is this team though? What is this team though? What is Carolina?
Hey, you know who's won more recently? Carolina.
Woohoo! They won a game.
Jacksonville hasn't won since November. Over a month since Jacksonville has won a game.
They've also played Cincinnati, Cleveland, Baltimore, and Tampa Bay. 4 potential playoff teams.
I don't care. This team without Trevor Lawrence is not good. Their defense is not good. And I think at the end of the week,
this is a get right spot.
The Colts, it would end up being the Colts because of tiebreakers. The Colts will be first place in the AFC South at the end of the week. So I'm on Carolina. I think Carolina's the play here for me. And you got to keep it. And you got to keep in mind, Carolina's not tanking. Like they're not trying to tank because Chicago has the number 1 pick. So they're going to try to win. It's not like you got teams on the bottom trying to tank. So
I think this is a sell high spot for the Panthers. Who have covered
sell high.
Mm-hmm.
They just played against. They just lost to Green Bay
and covered for the second time in a row, 3 times in 4 weeks.
Okay, no, this is not a definition of a sell high. If they would have won versus Green Bay, different story. No, this is not a sell high spot, Nick.
Okay, fair enough.
If you're going to use that, it's buy low on the Jaguars, but
absolutely, it's a buy low spot on the Jaguars. I think it's a little bit of both.
Some chronic deadly disease has hit the Jaguars, and they will exit the season with a whimper loss to the worst team. Sad. I agree. I think they lose. Speaking about bad teams I think are going to lose, how about your Giants, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, do we have the joy of talking about your Jets too today?
No, the Jets already lost on Thursday. It was beautiful.
Yeah, I helped clinch a spot for the Cleveland Browns, but if we want to throw jabs, I can throw jabs back.
And I hope the Jets lose next week to New England. What's your point?
All right, let's get into it. New York Giants and the LA Rams. This line has creeped up to a 6.5 now. This line, look ahead, 5.5. Opening line was a 6. It's up to a 6.5 now. And 41% or 41%. Look at line 41.5. Opening line 42, up to a 43.5. So we even moved towards the over in this game as well, which is kind of interesting for a Giants game. But for Rams games, it makes sense because the Rams offensively have been able to put up points, and I'll probably believe that they could probably do that here, and so does the general public with 96% of the tickets and 97% of the cash on the over in this game. 46% of the tickets, 73% of the cash on the Giants in this game on the spread, 86% of the tickets, 86% of the cash is on the Rams for the money line, which is weird. But my number for this game's 5.5, 6 range. I think this line's pretty spot on if you're looking at the side in this game. don't see any value on either side. I think this line should be around that 6 number. As for the total in this game, I have this game priced more like a 40-41 range. So maybe this could be one of those spots where we let the total climb and we grab an under. Let's take a look at where this line's moving up, right? I mentioned that it was moving up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that would make sense because 96% of the tickets, 97% of the cash is on the over in this game. Something tells me the Giants get held to like 6 points in this game. And this is like a 21-6 potential type of game. Or this is a 17-14 type of game where defenses show up and we expect offense from the Rams and we just don't get it. I think the under might be the look in this game, and I didn't have any intentions on betting this game under the total, but that'd be my lean at the moment. I might get to it. Don't know yet.
Yeah, I like the Rams. I think the Rams. I'm not gonna say blowout, but I think they win by double digits. This is a Giants team that should want to tank, or at least lose the last couple of games so they can get a slightly better draft pick. And this is a Rams team that is fighting for a playoff spot right now. So that's a spot that I like to look at is, hey, you got a team that's motivated against a Giants team that their last big game was last week. That was the last game that they're going to care about this entire year. Was against Philly. Granted, they go against Philly against next week, but by then the division's probably clinched for the Eagles and it doesn't really matter. So
Not if the Eagles lose today, but yeah.
You think the Eagles are losing as 14-point dogs today? Okay,
No,
that's
there's
okay.
no
That's
chance
why.
they do.
Okay. I like the Rams on this one minus the 6.
Fair enough.
I want the Jags to win here, but seems like a lunatic to bet 3x on a falling knife. Rams minus 5.5 and team total over 4.5 in the first half. MGM boosted. I like it. Let's speaking of that Eagles team.
Yeah, we have the Philadelphia Eagles and the Arizona Cardinals. Eagles now 13-point favorites in this game with a total of 48 in the spot. Let's take a look at the line history in this one. There we go. We just got to find the right tab for it. Philadelphia, Arizona, bet online. Here we go. Look at line 10, opening line 10.5 up to a 13. So big line move towards the Eagles here in this spot. Look at line 47.5, opening line 48.5 down to a 48. So a slight move towards the under in this game here as well. We have 36% of the tickets, 70% of the cash is on the under. The lines move slightly in that direction. 58% of the tickets and 87% of the cash is on the Cardinals, but yet this line's moved towards the Eagles, which is kind of interesting there. My line for this game was the Eagles as an 11.5-point favorite in this game, up to a 13 now. Starting to see some value with the Cardinals at the 13 number. Whether or not I want to bet that is another story. The Cardinals are not a team I particularly trust. I mean, there's the Eagles probably win this game and the Cardinals probably cover. It's probably what happens in this game because the Cardinals are 3-12 this year, but they're 7-7-1 ATS. The Eagles are 11-4 this year, but they're 6-6-3 ATS. So, potentially, this is one of those spots where Eagles win, Cardinals cover. I would lean in that direction. I lean towards Cardinals in this spot at 13 now. That's the only way I can look at this game, but I did not feel the need to get involved with it.
No, I didn't either. If there's a spot that you want to back, no, not even. They're kind of split home road for the Cardinals. No, I can't be interested in this game. I'm not laying 12.5 points on the Eagles with 2 divisional games sandwiched in between this one game. So, no, this is another spot. Did not feel the need to have to bet it. So, we'll go just stay away from another big spread game.
Yeah, no need to feel to get involved with in a big number like this. Move on to the next matchup here. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 2.5-point favorites, total 42.5 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history for this one here, which I believe this game's had some pretty interesting line history because this line, I believe, is dropped. Look at line 2, opening line 3, down to a 2.5, so a slight move towards Tampa. Towards New Orleans. Look at line 40, opening line 41.5, up to a 42. So move towards the over here as well. Let's take a look at the cash flow for this game. 46% of the tickets, 59% of the cash is on the Saints, which explains the line move towards the Saints. We have 59% of the tickets, 70% of the cash is on the under, and yet the line's moving towards the over, which is kind of interesting in this spot here. My projections for this game, I have Tampa Bay as about a 3.5-point favorite. So I see slight value here on the Bucs as a 3-point favorite. Do I want to bet it? No, though. No, the market's saying the Saints are very live in this game. And even though all the money coming in on the under, the line's moved up, which tells me that the Bucs are expecting the Saints offense to show up today and to be able to put up some points in this one here. And I don't know. My numbers had this game around a 41, so I thought that opening line was about right. So I feel no need to get involved in this game at all. So it's a pass for me in this game.
I'm on the Bucs, and I think the Bucs clinch a playoff spot today, or clinch the division, I should say, today, because they clinch the division with a win and an Atlanta loss, and I think Atlanta loses to the Bears. The only reason why, if they win and Atlanta wins, Atlanta and Tampa and Atlanta play against each other next week. That would be for the division due to tiebreakers. So they need both of those to happen. I think Tampa wins today and knocks the Saints out of contention, and I think the Falcons knock themselves out of contention today. So I am on the Buccaneers -2.5, and that may end up being our third play on the site if we don't really agree on anything else, because you didn't disagree with it, and we'll see. But Tampa Bay today for me.
There you go.
Suppness, Lex. This game's ugly.
Yeah, and I've made a move on it.
Oh, God.
I actually really like this game. So let's get into it here as we have the San Francisco 49ers as 2 touchdown favorites in this game, total 49.5 in this one. Let's get into the line history in this spot here. If I can find the right tab. Sometime today. There it is. All right, cool. This line opened up at minus click. Stupid thing. There you go. Look at line 13.5, opening line 13. Now it's a 14. Opening line 48. Look at line 48, opening line 48.5, up to a 49.5. Move towards San Fran. I move towards the over in this game. Taking a look at the cash flow in this spot here, where we have the Niners getting 78% of the tickets, 78% of the cash. Lines moving towards the Niners. 51% of the tickets and 45% of the cash is on the over, but yet the line's moved up a point, which tells me the books expect a little bit of a higher scoring game of this one, and that's exactly what I expected as well. I had this game projected around a 51.5 range. I played the over 49.5 in this game, and even though it's a high number here, I'm not laying 14 with the Niners on the road. I'm not going to do that. I will take the 49ers team total over 31.5 at -125 in this spot. I think this is a game where their offense explodes. They just had that embarrassment last week against the Ravens when they were 6.5-point favorites and they lost by 14 points. I see a bounce back performance for them. And last time these are and when you look at these Washington Commanders, what is the thing they do best? Give up points. 30 to the Jets, 28 to the Rams, 45 to the Dolphins, 45 to the Cowboys, 31 to the Giants, 29 to the Seahawks, 38 to the Eagles. This is a team that has no problem giving up points. And on the flip side, when this Niners offense is humming, they put up 45 against Arizona. They put up 42 against Philadelphia, 31 against Seattle, 34 against Jacksonville. This is a team that knows how to put up points, and I think they're able to do that in this game here. 49ers team total over 31.5 -125. Full game over 49.5 for me here.
Yeah, you know what? We're gonna go ahead and put the over up as the third play then. Washington is the worst defense in the NFL, and it was proven last week when they gave up 30 points, or 2 weeks ago last week when they gave up 30 points to the Jets. San Fran can put up 35 by themselves today, at least. And I think Washington scores a couple times. Over in this game. I'm not laying 14 points on the road. This game could easily be 37-24, something in that range. So I do like an over in this game. Expect plenty of points in Washington today.
Agreed.
Worst defense in the NFL. There you go.
There's Ravens -3 for 1. Got the Niners team total over. Yep, I like the Niners team total over there as well. I have plays in 2 of the last 4 games. This is not one of them. Pittsburgh Steelers and Seattle Seahawks. 4-point favorites are the Seahawks. Total 41 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history, as I believe we start the 4 o'clock games now with the Seahawks here. There are 3 4 o'clock games today. This line opened up with the Seahawks as our opening line 3.5. Opening line 4. It's up to a 4.5. So we have a move towards the Seahawks in this game. Look at line 40.5, opening line 41.5, down to a 40.5. So line move towards the under here as well. Looking at the cash flow in this game here, 46% of the tickets and 62% of the cash on the under. So that explains the line move towards the under, the sharp money coming in on the under. 49% of the tickets and 71% of the cash is coming in on the Steelers, and yet this line is moving towards the Seahawks, which I think seeing just that market move is enough to keep me off the Steelers in this spot, because I do have them. I do have the Seahawks as a 3-point favorite in this game. So I see slight value with Pittsburgh. But that market move is enough to keep me away from the Steelers in this spot. I'm seeing the Steelers regression coming in. And we kind of expected this for a little bit because they were a team that was consistently getting outgained every game. And now they've lost 3 of the last 4. Granted, their last game was a very dominant 34-11 win over the Cincinnati Bengals. Seahawks are coming in off of a 20-17 win against Tennessee, where they scored late in that game in order to push that 3. But no action for me in this game. I think I have a slight lead towards the under in this spot. No look at this side though.
I like Seattle. I think they can possibly make a push at a playoff spot. Bless you. And right now they're set up to get one. And honestly, at the end of the day, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the 3 wild card teams be Dallas, Rams, Seahawks. And that's what it currently is right now. That's not really saying much, but this is a Seahawks team that is finally getting their quarterback back in Geno Smith. They're finally getting a couple other pieces back, and I think this is a Seahawks by double digits type of game. Pittsburgh gets they wouldn't get eliminated today, I don't think. They would, their playoff chances would be near 0 if they lost today. Considering that tiebreakers with Indianapolis and Houston go towards Indianapolis and Houston, not Pittsburgh. I think it's a really weird spot for Pittsburgh right now, but I think after today, their chances of playoffs are going to be near 0.
They also play Baltimore next week,
which is
for week 18,
very
which
difficult.
is not an easy game. And
but at the same time, it's a divisional game. So
yeah, and if you're the Steelers, this is probably your best game to get a win, to keep Tomlin's winning record streak going, because he hasn't had a losing season yet. So Steelers win 1 of the last 2 games. I think it's against Baltimore.
I don't know about that. But back to the chat, Nick. I'm putting up the college basketball plays, which I got 5 of them.
There you go. We'll head to the next game because there's no chat. We have the Cincinnati Bengals and the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs 6.5, 7-point favorites in this game. Shop around as always. Total 44.5 in this game. Let's get into the line history in this one here between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Kansas City Chiefs. This line opened up. Look ahead line was a 7. Opening line was an 8. It's come back. It's come down to a 6.5. There's 7s out there. I was able to get a 7 this morning. And I forgot to click for the total here in this spot where this total is mainly 45.5 across the board. Some 45s popping up. Look ahead line was a 45. Opening line was a 44.5. It's up to a 45.5. So it's moved slightly towards the over. 37% of tickets, 66% of cash on the under, though. And then we have 46% of tickets, 49% of cash on the Bengals. And the line's moving pretty swiftly towards these Bengals here in this game. I took some Cincinnati at 7 and some 235 with Cincinnati. I have the Chiefs around a 5-point favorite in this game. This is just one of those spots where the Chiefs are not covering games anymore. In the beginning of the season, they were. And then all of a sudden, like a month and a half ago, they've all of a sudden like stopped covering spreads. Like the only game they've covered a spread in the last since November. Yeah, they covered against Miami on November 5th. Since then, they've covered 1 out of 6 spreads, and that was as 9.5-point favorites against the Raiders, where they were down 14-0 early in that game. So the Chiefs are a no bet right now. I will not be betting the Chiefs, which probably will lead to a great opportunity when the playoffs start for an absolute buy low spot on Kansas City because they'll somehow still make the Super Bowl for whatever reason. All that fun stuff. But it's the Bengals for me. If the Bengals win this game, they have the same record as the Chiefs without Burrow, which this year. Is Burrow overrated?
Probably.
Winning without him. So, Tim, thoughts on this game?
No, I'm on Cincinnati as well. This is a Chiefs team that I know we could say, a bounce back spot after that Vegas game. I believe that team that played Vegas is the team that we should expect from this Kansas City team. This is not a good team. Or they're a good team, but they're not playing good football this year. And I think it's a rough spot, not a rough spot, but Cincinnati coming into this one after getting blown out as well. Right? They I know they lost their last game.
34.
Yeah, blown out 34-11. I think this is a good bounce back spot for Cincinnati. I think they have a chance to win this game outright. So this is a Bengal spot for me.
Fair enough. We'll keep on moving on here. Second to last game on the card, where we have the Broncos as 3.5-point favorites, total of 36.5 in this game. Obviously, the big news for this game here is Jared Stidham will be starting for the Denver Broncos and not Russell Wilson. So no more Broncos country. Let's ride. It's Jared Stidham time. Line opened up at opening line at 6. Look at line 6, opening line 5.5, down to a 3.5 now. Look at line 38, opening line 38.5, down to a 37.5 in this game here. Taking a look at the cash flow for this one here, where we have 52% of tickets, 58% of cash on the Chargers. The line has moved towards the Chargers. 73% of tickets and 89% of the cash is on the under. Yet this line's moving towards the over. I think I might have some interest in this over in this game as well. I think that it has some appeal to it, and maybe I'll look towards adding that later in the day. Maybe this is at 38 now, so this line's moving swiftly towards that over. I would lean that in that direction. I think this line should be a 40. So I might move on that a little later. That over in that game. But for me, I'm on the Chargers. I got them at 3 and a hook. I got them on the money line as well. The Chargers looked better last week. Granted, they still lost, but they were 13-point dogs, and they lost on a last-second field goal. So they looked really good last week. Denver has really fallen off as of late. Their only win was against this Chargers team, 24-7 in LA. So a little bit of a revenge spot as well. The offense has kind of been looking a little bit better for the Chargers the last couple of games, 21 and 22 points put up. I like the over a little bit in this game. I see something along the lines maybe of 24-21 Chargers in this game. I like the Chargers, and I'm probably going to move on the over a little bit later.
I don't feel the need to go after this game. This is a Broncos team that's a loss away from being knocked out. This is a Chargers team that's been knocked out for the past, month. So these are just two teams that are kind of, I'm not going to say playing for exercise because technically the Broncos are still alive. But this is a game that I just want to stay away from. And as we get down the stretch of this week and next week, you don't need to bet every single game. A lot of these games are going to be stay away spots because the teams aren't playing for anything. And those are always the trickiest games for me to cap, is not knowing how each team's going to kind of treat each game. And I don't want to get involved if the teams don't care. So this one's a stay away for spot for me.
Fair. Back to the chat.
Arizona minus 12.5. I'm guessing this is college basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Thoughts on Arizona minus college basketball? I don't hate it, but we didn't bet that game. How about some Sunday Night Football?
Yep, last game on the card here, where we have the Green Bay Packers. They're at the Minnesota Vikings in this spot. Vikings 1-point favorites, total 43 in this game. Look ahead line was -2. Opening line was -2.5, and it's now down to a 1. So we have a move towards Green Bay, pretty decent one, a 1.5-point line move towards Green Bay. Look ahead line 43.5, opening line 44.5, down to a 43. So a line move towards the under here as well. Even though 81% of the tickets, 94% of the cash on the over. So maybe the under's the play. Maybe the under's the play in this game. 67% of the tickets, 79% of the cash is on the Packers, which explains the line move towards the Packers in this game here. And this is a game I think I'm just going to sit with at the moment. Because if this creeps to a pick'em and maybe Minnesota turns into a slight dog, I'm interested in the Vikings here. I have them as 2.5-point favorites in this game. So I see value on Minnesota already. It would be Vikings or nothing. But if this line is going to continue to move towards Green Bay, I'm not going to bet it now. I'll wait a little bit later. I'll wait till 7:30 to make this bet, and I'll grab some Minnesota Vikings. If this is the case. I'm looking Vikings or nothing in this game. I think you're on the opposite side, but if this line continues to move towards the Packers and I can get a pick'em price or maybe plus money with the Vikings later in the day, I'm going to grab Minnesota here. So I'm going to sit back, wait, let the public come in, keep betting the Packers, and I'll probably grab some Vikings a little bit later.
Great. So I'm the public now. I'm on the Packers, but I've been on them for. I just think they're overall the better team. The only reason why the Minnesota Vikings are favored is because they're at home, and that is it. So I have no faith in this Vikings team. I think everything that they were working for and everything this year, kind of just. I feel like the Sails got out of their wins after last game where they lost to the Lions. I think in order for them to have been competitive, they need to win last week. I think they lose this week and get pretty much mathematically eliminated. So for me, I'm on the Packers. Call it public, whatever you want. But Packers for me today.
Fair enough.
Tim, do you have a Hail Mary for us? Nope. 0 bets in NFL. I don't know why I don't like the NFL card. That's fair. We only have 3 plays up on the site for it. So that's all the games for today. Nick, make sure you put up your hockey on the site. All of our plays are over on the picksandparleys.net website, or You guys can become a member of the channel, $5.99 a month, 16 cents a day. I'm going to be posting up the plays for college basketball in a couple minutes after the stream is over. So stay tuned for that. That will be up on the community tab. Once again, that's where you can find it. Make sure you guys are following us on socials. All of that is linked down below. YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Let's do a quick little recap here. I'm on the Ravens, Colts. I like the Panthers today, the Rams today. The over in the Commanders game. I like Seattle, Cincy, and the Packers. Nick?
Yeah, I have moved on a few things in the NFL. I've got the Ravens -3, Titans +4 money line, Patriots 14.5 small sprinkle on the money line, 625. I lean under in that Giants game. Don't think I'm going to get to it. I'm on the over 49.5 in the Niner game, and I'm also on the Niners team total over 31.5. I am on the Jaguars -4. I'm on the Jaguars team total over 20.5. I'm on the full game over 37.5 in that one there. Very invested in the Jaguars today. I'm on the Raiders +4 and the Raiders money line. I'm on the Chargers +3.5 in money line. Bengals 7 in money line, and I'm leaning Vikings. Might get to that later in the day.
Sounds good. 3 chats and then we'll head out. Only one I like is Thunder and Rams. No hockey today. I
grabbed Jets in the over and the Islanders so far. I'm probably going to add more later. I have to deep dive into the card a little bit more.
Good luck, guys. Good luck today, Fernando. We'll see you guys tomorrow for another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. We'll see you guys then.